Freaka TV Freak Up Studio Live 2021 GSL Season 3.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another day of the GSL Code S. This is the third day, but it is Group D. Group C has been pushed to the very back of our tournament because of schedule conflicts. So if you're joining us, you didn't miss anything. We are going to have Group C on Thursday.
Yeah. And Group D, well, I'm glad to get this group going right now. Like, I didn't want to wait till Thursday because this is probably the group of death.
This is a pretty sick group, and Bunny has been rapidly improving. I know he's been around for a long time, and I think a lot of people have gotten used to him always getting into a certain spot in GSL, but I think in this year especially, he's looked extremely strong, and this is probably the toughest group of the tournament.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, was it 3 of the top 4 from Season 2? So that's pretty insane. ByuN should not be underestimated. It's going to be a lot of fun. Honestly, I'm having a hard time judging who I think is actually going to get out of the group.
Yeah, I think if you think you know who's going to get out, you're probably overconfident. This is a really tough one to call. So far for the round of 8, we have Zest versus Dream. That's going to be a crazy match, but not as crazy as Trap versus Maru. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's quite the match, isn't it? Like, both these guys you kind of expect to see in the finals.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. Who do you think with Zest and Dream, Artosis?
Zest versus Dream? Yeah, it's a little bit hard. I've been doubting Zest more than I ever do recently. Yeah. But he's still delivering, so...
He's still powering through tournaments.
Yeah. I kind of feel slightly Zest favored there, I guess.
It does seem like Zest's style doesn't quite seem to be able to slot into a first-place GSL yet, or even a GSL finals. Like, he's been good, but maybe not strong enough to kind of hack his way through an entire...
I would love for him to win again. That would be...
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Guys, quick video, then we go to our games.
몰래 카메라인 줄 알았는데 이대로 진행돼. 나머지 그 테란 분들의 얘기를 좀 한번 들어보고 싶어요.
네. 절대 가기 싫고요. 저를 데려가셔봤자 성우가 절 또 데려갈 텐데.
만약에 뭐 뽑는다면 저도 그냥 해도 될 것 같아요.
근데 이번에 령우가 뭐 뽑고 싶다면 저를 뽑아줬으면 좋겠네요. 상대 전적 보면은 유일하게 저한테는 좀 밀리거든요. 극복할 수 있는 기회를 줄 테니까 내가 도전자가 아니라 너가 도전자다.
현우 형이랑 하면 도와줄 테니까 현우 형 다시 한번 떨궜으면 좋겠어요.
뽑을게요.
보면 알겠습니다. 네.
이러고
저는 다른
이러고 이재선. 이러고 이재선.
잠깐만요.
이게 뭔가 세게 접근하면 그냥 피하고 싶어져요.
이 변환 선수의 강력한 도발.
예전이었으면 그냥 망했다 이럴 것 같은데 이제는 좀 그렇게 막 잘하진 않더라고요. 그래서 지금 화가 너무 나가지고 싫어할 만한 사람 있으면 뽑고 싶은데 현우 형 생각하고 있는데
제가 테란 대 테란전이 약하기도 하고 근데 저는 뭐 제가 약한 상대라고 피하지는 않고 뽑아도 상관없을 것 같아요.
여기서 이재선 선수 선택을 해야 됩니다.
누구를 뽑아도 쉽지 않고 그나마 좀 더 쉬웠던 현우 형 뽑았습니다.
아무래도 재선이가 있어서 조금 죽음의 조라고 하긴 좀 그런데 그래도 마지막 선수는 좀 재선이보다 좀 윗단계 선수가 왔으면 좋겠네요.
오, 많이 생겼어요. 원래는 예상이 딱 되는데
근데 뭐 성우가 뭐 데려가도 나쁘지 않을 것 같고 저는 성욱이 형이랑 좀 게임을 하고 싶네요. 바꾸게 되면 이삭이랑 저랑 바꾸는 게 그냥 운명을 받아들이고 거기 있었으면 좋겠고 그리고 넌 전역했잖아. 조금만 더 하자. 조금만 더 하자. 간절하게.
플랜 B를 다 짜놨기 때문에 진행하겠습니다.
알겠습니다. 최후 선택.
이상을 바라보는
어디로 갈까요?
그림이
어디 갈까요? 와, 누가요? 어지러운데 지금. 근데 뭐 디조도 훌륭한 것 같아요. 저랑 뭐 영우랑 뭐 재선이 또 손잡고 같이 뭐 올라올 수 있으면
좀 많이 올라가네요. 디조는.
많이 올라가는데요.
확실한 건 현우 형은 더 힘들 것 같아요.
Round of 16, Group D. Dark, Bunny, ByuN, Party. 2021 GSL Season 3 Codex.
So, Bunny during that said, "Oh wow, like Dark's not as good as he used to be." He won last season.
Yeah.
Like, what are? I mean, can you explain that to me?
No,
how
I
he
mean,
could
I
say
can't.
that? Like, he literally not like he won last season, and I don't know what else to say.
other than that, maybe if they scrim, the game results are pretty different. But I don't know how else to view that. I think it's safe to say Dark should be able to power out of this group. He had an amazing performance in last season. I mean, all around, you know, one of the greatest Zergs of all time in all the StarCraft, Sartosis.
But he's kind of weak.
He's not as good as he used to be.
Yeah.
It's probably the best way to say it.
Like a week ago when he won season 2.
Now, Bunny, I think, has really leveled up, despite what ByuN said back there as well. I think Bunny really has shown very impressive games. And this is a guy who's been showing up to every season of GSL, who's been putting his heart into it, putting his back into it.
Yeah.
And we are seeing not a complete change now he plays. He's just brought a better version of himself, really.
Yeah, he's so much better than he used to be. It's not even close.
So much better at doing what he was trying to do in previous seasons. But he's up against Dark. Dark doesn't lose to much, Artosis.
No, he does not. He is a hard one to kill. There's no question.
And our map is going to be 2,000 atmospheres. Dark versus Bunny in this best of 3. Group D here for the 3rd day of the GSL Codex for the round of 16. Let's see who goes on to the winner's match.
GSL Season 3 Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Dark. Team NV, Bunny.
So we've got one barracks being made in the middle, and I think a second SCV. And a third is inbound here. So this is going to be the triple barracks.
We're serious
rush.
for this game.
Yeah.
And it is a hatch first from Dark, which is something, you know, he like goes pool first probably more than any other Zerg.
Yeah, this is lining up pretty nicely for Bunny.
Look at this. Dark is 20-4 against Bunny in Legacy of the Void.
Wow.
20-4. 20 wins, 4 losses. But he's not as good as he used to be, so like...
Well, this is definitely, if Bunny's going to win a game, it would be here. The stars have aligned.
Yeah, the Overlords are going on either side of this, too.
Yeah, it's going to stay in the blind spot of the scouting path. This build is designed to punish a build that, like, what Dark is doing. Actually, probably exactly what Dark is doing.
Yeah.
And basically, the Zerg's not going to know until about 2 or 3 seconds before the attack actually just starts.
Yeah.
In fact, okay, here we go.
Yeah, he sees SCVs coming now. Dark seems unfazed thus far. Let's see.
Yeah, he's going to throw that first bunker down. He's got 3 SCVs total, so he could maybe make a bunker wall. I'm not sure the ins and outs of this rush specifically.
That is a lot of drones that Dark has pulled.
And he's going to just be able to force cancel the bunker. Nice control here on both sides, but the surround from the drones is pretty good too.
Oh my God, already killing so many drones right now. Look at that, a huge amount of damage already. 10 drones killed, more on the way. 11,
wow.
12.
Oh my God, is that going to be too much? Now the spine is almost done, but there's only 2 lings here to help out. And actually good targeting even on those drones as well. The spine is going to go down, and that's going to be it. GG Bunny in under 3 minutes, 1-0's Dark.
Damn, he's so
Because
good.
Dark isn't as good as he used to be.
He's not. Old Dark would have held that with a
Yeah.
pool first.
Dark 3 weeks ago wouldn't have lost a drone.
No.
So look, man, that's good planning by Bunny.
Yeah.
Finger on the pulse of the way Dark is playing on that map. Punished Hatch first, and Hamburglared his way to a victory.
Well, here he is. 1 win away from that winner's match.
Hey, man, just one more game. He knows he's halfway there. He did it in record time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm actually kind of excited now to see what they both do on Oxide.
Yeah. Dark is known to hard shift from econ openings into like all-ins or rushes. Let's see what happens as we go to Oxide for map 2.
GSL Season 3, Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Dark. Team Envy, Bunny.
It's too bad. The real play here would have been 3 proxy Raxes in the center again.
Yeah. That would have been the ultimate
That
scumbag move.
would have been the play right there. Imagine that. Like, you
Yeah.
die to that.
Well, that's when you you leave the match as Dark like it's all going in slow motion, like Saving Private Ryan or something.
Yeah.
You don't even know what happened until you're finally out. You're back in the makeup room. I got proxy raxed. Proxy 3 racks.
You're
2
like,
games in
well,
a
now
row.
I got to get ready for the loser match. You're like, Dark, you already lost the loser match to Party. He cannon rushed you. It's like, oh my God.
I play this game all day, and these are the games I have to play in the finals. When it matters the most. The last tournament of the year here for GSL Code S. Cheesin'. So, obviously this time around, it's going to be a much more conservative build here for Bunny. He's saving up to get his command center on the low ground.
Yeah, and Reaper coming out.
Now, I don't think Bunny did that build because he knew he couldn't beat Dark in a straight-up game. I think that was just very good planning.
Mm-hmm. I think it's good to screw with him a little bit in that regard,
Yeah, I
right?
think so.
Like, show him that you have that within your range. And, I mean, don't forget, there's a decent shot he has to play Dark twice. There's a really decent shot because, like, Parting was kind of right in the group selection. It's a hard group for ByuN overall because Parting's really strong PvT. ByuN's worst matchup is Terran versus Terran, right? And Dark is the defending champion. So you look at that, it's like, ooh, that's a tough group for him.
Yeah, nothing's ideal for him.
Yeah, so there's actually a very reasonable chance that Bunny will have to play Dark twice.
But I think for now, we just got to see how this next game goes. I think if you get to the winners, you do everything you can to escape and move on. This is such a tough group. Woo! Nice escape here by Bunny.
And just a factory coming up with the reactor back at Bunny's base. Creep Tumor going down here for Dark. Does, of course, have that third hatchery almost halfway done. Starport coming up for Bunny.
And again, you know, Dark has always been the master of holding off pushes, thwarting pressure from Terran with as little as possible. And, you know, periodically we've actually seen Dark do a lot of extremely aggressive mid-game attacks as well. He really does have quite a range in his play. He's good at doing so many things, but oftentimes you don't really know what he's going to bring. The only person I put above that in that regard is Rogue, really.
Yes, yes.
You know.
Well, Rogue, like, you can't even predict him. It's silly almost.
Yeah.
Like that finals against Maru. I will literally never forget that. It's one of the worst finals we've ever had, which doesn't even make sense because it's like literally the strongest
On
server
paper,
versus
the
strongest
greatest
Terran.
finals ever, yeah.
And then in reality, the worst finals, basically. Except for all of Rogue's other finals, of course.
Where he just dumpsters them.
Doesn't matter who he's versus. All right, Overlord are going to dive in here, try to get a bit more intel. Oh, he's not actually going to end up seeing very much. I don't think he saw the starport. Yeah, just barely did not get a glimpse of that. Cloak is being made. Third CC starts up at the wall.
We got to see how prepared he's going to be for the Banshee and the Cloak.
Oh, he's making roaches. That's suboptimal against Banshees.
This is going to pair pretty nicely with the build that Bunny's doing. Bunny's going to have a lot of momentum to start things off. And I think a lot of it does come down to not spotting that starport, especially if he had seen the tech lab added on there as well. You basically know what's coming.
Yeah, the Hellions going around, like the roaches can help block against that, right? Like if he's not going to utilize Zerglings, the roaches can be good defensively, but I think he wants to push with them. Yeah, they're starting to go across the map. So the Banshee that's just sitting there is going to basically just force him to instantly turn around. Really can't do anything against the Banshee damage output. With that double Banshee, it's just...
Yeah, and although roaches are tanky, they're not fast enough to really have any real retreat path.
Yeah, there's work going up the other side of the map, so it looks like they'll get back to the creep. And that does buy a little bit of extra time to get the spores up.
Yeah, and now with the Banshees and the Hellions coming up here, able to put a little bit of pressure, we can see these creep tumors are going to be shut down. And I don't think you can really get in there and do that much to the drones, but yeah, you can see the roaches just aren't able to really do anything against this. So Bunny's going to have a lot of freedom. Now this matters not because a base is going to be lost now, but because creep can be controlled and mitigated in this process. And when we do eventually have that push coming, which won't be that far out, there's a chance that you can really get a nice setup not far away from the hatchery, maybe even in range of the hatchery with one or two of the siege tanks, and start to shell down these bases. And so, although we're seeing Zerg basically fend this off, the issue is that Zerg doesn't have a lot of territory outside of the initial expansions that have been taken.
Yeah, and he definitely doesn't have any way to kind of exert any pressure back onto the map right now either, so Bunny is keeping him back. He's getting his third base just landed now. I mean, he's getting healthy upgrades, getting his siege tank production going. But I do like where Dark is going with this, and I think it's actually probably the best place he could go with this right now. You know, he loves to open with the roaches, and he is getting that ranged attack upgrade. And we also see the Infestation Pin Hydralisk Den, so I think it's pretty clear that he'll go up into Lurkers from here.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that that's going to pair well with what he's got. Like, he just kind of prefers roaches more than other Zergs do. But also, with Bunny kind of controlling the game a little bit, even if he gets the edge, which it seems like he already has slightly, you can fight back with that Lurker composition pretty well as Dark.
Yeah, you're definitely able to hold your ground a little bit better. And, you know, that Roach style, it's so different from the Mutiling style that we see a lot of other Zergs like to do, where, you know, if you can clobber the Terran just correctly, then you're going to win the fight in an overwhelming way. But at the same time, you know, it has that glass cannon feel to it, where if you don't engage correctly and they do, let's say, get a Widowmine to connect to your Mutas or on all your Banelings, or they snipe your Banes while forking out with Marines, then you can lose control there. You know, Roach Ravager, if we've been doing it or going into Roach Lurker, it's a little bit more of a tanky, kind of a brawling comp.
Yeah, which is really the style that Dark is better at, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, Bunny's getting a well-timed second factory here, so that's really good. Already a good drone count. Snuck a couple of infestors in there as well. Really like to see that. Those will come in very useful, I think. Hive about to finish. Lurker Den is already done. All right. I mean, I think we're going to have like a really cool game here.
Yeah, now let's take a look at this push here from Bunny. I will say Dark has actually pushed back his creep out here. Pushes creep back out is probably the correct order of those words. I don't know how that came out as a word
Speaking
salad.
is hard, man. I get it.
It's not easy. And so he's going to have at least a decent area he can try to take engagements on. He's going to siege up here. The tanks, though, just kind of stuck on the right here. Very exposed. And they are picked off. Two more tanks just at the top of our screen here as Bunny is actually going to be able to fight this off. And the retreat pathing, not ideal for the Zerg, losing a lot of units on the way out.
An amazing beginning of the engagement there. The Fungal doing amazingly. He kills off the two siege tanks very quickly as well. A couple more do come up. He's pushing back that creep reasonably well also. But I don't think he can break through here right now, right?
Yeah, I don't feel like he's got quite enough.
The Banshee is being incredibly annoying there. And here the Bio comes up from the side. The Queens forcing their way through, but the creep does end there.
Oh, actually, this is kind of insane from the Terran, the way he was able to micro over here to the right. Now, Zerg's going to win this fight in the long run, but I think this trade was extremely unfavorable right now for the Zerg.
Yeah, the second half of this engagement definitely was Bunny favored, whereas the first half was Dark favored. So taking a look at where we're at, they're both very high as far as the worker counts go, like very, very healthy economies, but you know, we're getting into a different tech here for Dark. He utilized that Roach Ravager that you were talking about before, and now he's getting into Viper Lurker.
Yeah, now, in all this, the Zerg hasn't lost that many bases. It is 4 bases to 3, so Zerg has a slight lead and is sort of leaning into the economy of these 4 bases to try to power up more instead of trying to grow out on the map more. So again, Dark coming up here, going to be looking for a fight.
He's kind of roaming around quite a bit here. Of course, with Roach Ravager, not a whole lot you can do against the medevac roaming here, right? He can pick that all very, very quickly. In fact, there we go, Bunny picking up.
Now, this is one of the great exploits against Roach Ravager is that since you don't have mutas, you don't have any way to just kind of shut down these drops. And so mobility becomes something that could really be punished, or I should say lack of mobility can be punished for the Zerg.
And he comes in, has a lot of Roach Ravagers, so he will be able to hold this, and throwing out some parasitic bombs, which, of course, is a great way to try to abuse these medevacs a little bit. Forcing him to split there. Does end up living with 2 of the medevacs full of units, so didn't lose that much, but didn't do that much with it either.
A very important 5th base is being taken and protected by these lurkers over here. The center-left portion of the map appears to be more pushable than the bottom right center. You know, there's creep still over there, so I think if we had to see the game plan here from Bunny, it's going to be a push over here from the east into the west. But we do need to see a 4th base taken here from the Terran as well.
Yeah, when is he actually going to do that? That's a good point.
Hold on,
okay,
it's actually happening now. So at 3 o'clock, I didn't see that was built in the tab, but okay, so he is going to have an extra base. I thought he might try to push further up to the west, but instead he's going to just try to take advantage of this rock formation and these 2 narrow bottlenecks in between, try to push in here and use the shelling from the tanks to really punish the Zerg if they get too near.
Yeah, Bungle there goes out. This is so many siege tanks.
Dude,
right
this
there.
This might be a little bit too much to handle. There's not enough Vipers to really easily shut this down. If the Vipers are able to harpoon even 1 or 2 tanks,
yeah,
you know 3 more are going to show up immediately. So it's not like the number's going to change.
And look, I love Abducts, but I think this was actually a situation where he should have been using Blinding Clouds.
Dude, I agree. Yeah,
it was really clumped up tanks. A very aggressive push here from Bunny.
I think Bunny might have just won this game.
Well, he killed off the 5th. He didn't let that finish. The 4th base is going to end up falling, but. And yeah, I mean, it's super Bunny favored. You definitely would think he would win, but Dark is like the one guy that fights really well from behind. With Hive Tech, like he's very, very good.
Yeah, that's true.
Normally it's like Ultras, but...
It's 2 Ultras and then he...
and a bunch of Queens.
A bunch of Queens and he fights back. Well, I mean, the drop was blocked, but, you know, honestly, with the 4th base being taken, time becomes the most powerful resource for Terran of all right now. Is basically you just look and try to see, okay, how is Zerg going to try to come ahead? Are they going to try to counterattack or are they going to expand? It's got to be one of the 2. Oh, and a nice poke in. He's going to be able to just shut that down. Not even a cancel.
Ouch. More lurkers on the way, though. Only 2 Vipers still, which I see is a bit of a problem. Like, you need to be able to cast all those spells very, very quickly. I know that they have, like, technically unlimited energy, but you really, you need to be able to cast as much as you need there, right? Pull in every single tank. Now, coming up here, throwing down the Parasitic Bomb. Continuing to run forward here with these lurkers. There's not many tanks. Oh my god, the SCVs!
Tanks.
Look at those SCVs coming in to die!
Did Dark just pull this off?
I think he's still
hold on.
okay.
He's actually got enough of a surround here, and this is a lot of valuable units that are going to be lost over here. All right, so that was almost the worst thing in the world for Bunny, but he actually fought back well. Now, his army supply has dropped pretty considerably. Still bigger than what the Zerg has, but I worry that there's just too many fires to put out right now for Dark, especially with Lurker Tech.
You might be right, but like I guess that's one of the nice things about Lurker Tech, because it's so hard to put things out. You have less spaces a lot of the time, and so here he is. He doesn't have that much to defend, so maybe he can hold on for a bit. I think that attack was quite good for Dark, and yeah, I mean, again, it feels pretty decent for Bunny because he has a lot of units, but he needs to start spreading them out, I think, right? Like, get around the map, start hitting some other edges, because Dark's entire army is basically lurkers.
Yeah, well, if he gets 1 or 2 tanks by the planetary, I think suddenly the lurkers can't poke and harass as much. And then it's really about just seesawing the action back over to the Zerg side of the map. The center left of the map is still pretty much in shambles. There's not a lot of creep over there. There's not even connecting creep to the new hatchery over at 9 o'clock.
Trying to unburrow and reburrow lurkers there against the scans, but not really having too much luck. Some more Vipers have been added in. It's going to make it a lot harder to actually engage here as Bunny. He does have 9 siege tanks, though. Not a very big ground army other than that, though. It's turning into kind of an interesting game, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's fascinating to see how Dark can just hang on, no matter how many lurkers are murdered in this game. But Bunny is starting to fan out. Bunny has mostly been ahead in this game. He's been basically, holding Dark's feet to the fire. But, all right, hold on. Another little push up in here. And really, Zerg's trying to control these rolling hills through the middle of the map because that's all that stands between here and then the bases that Dark has to keep, which, by the way, are next to each other. So if Terran pushes in and gets position, both the bases are probably going to fall.
Yeah. I love how Dark is playing this, though, right? Like, he's just kind of chasing everything down and mirroring the movement here with his Lurker Viper Queen. And when he gets a chance, he throws down a spell. Like we just saw Parasitic Bomb. Okay, there you go. You got a medevac. Just keep doing that. Rinse and repeat for the next 20 minutes.
I wouldn't mind seeing a drop over here to the center left or something else, since it seems like it's a bit too much of a Lurker jungle to move through right now.
A Lurker jungle?
There's so many Lurkers,
They're underground.
man.
It's a Lurker swamp.
That's right. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so hard to really move over to this center left position. And so he's going to try to come in here. And he's got a lot of ghosts, but they haven't fired out the snipes just yet.
He's actually abducting the ghosts for it. A couple Marines getting abducted as well. Imagine that.
I'm seeing everything now.
Does he abduct? When you actually abduct, is it like grabbing you with its tongue, or is it like spearing you like Scorpion does?
That's a good question. I always assumed it was spearing you like Scorpion.
I did too, and that makes sense on something like a siege
it's
tank.
like a chameleon
But
tongue.
if you did that to a Marine, that should basically kill the Marine, right?
Yeah, it should just actually have a kill animation when it pokes them.
Yeah.
By the way, this position has basically been surrounded by creep, the center position we had on camera a second ago. The drops are coming. Here we go. Now, this one, I think it would have been better if this had happened earlier, just because it's hard to...
Well, now he's hitting the 2 fringe bases, right? And that's a fantastic move.
That hatchery should be picked off here. Unless I... Yeah, okay, so... Thought I had miscalculated that. So that goes down. Zerg's on 4 bases again. But, I think Bunny wasn't quite quick enough to respond to get that over there. I think it would have helped to have done that a couple minutes earlier.
This game is actually becoming really interesting because, yeah, Dark is like losing bases and everything, but look at him. He's sitting here maxed out. He's got so much cost efficiency with his Vipers basically pulling everything into Lurkers. But Bunny is macroing up really big. He's got a solid economy. Look at the amount of siege tank he's bringing down.
It's insane, man. And we're going to have this big attack come in here now. Lurkers over on the flank.
Yeah, Link's coming in with them as well. Runs forward with that burrow. And the blinding cloud's absolutely beautiful. Abducting some of those back tanks as well.
There are more Lurkers than there are people watching us on YouTube right now. This is insane. The thing is, he busted through some of that, but, he can still take some pot shots at these Lurkers from a distance. Again, I think the key here for Bunny is to keep playing around the Lurkers. Oftentimes, you don't want to try to take the Lurkers head on unless you have the killing blow set up.
Well, when you have 10 tanks, right, spread pretty well with +2 attack and then ghosts, it feels like you're going to kill the Lurkers when they come in.
Right.
But then you come in with that many Lurkers, plus the Lings, plus blinding clouds and abducts, and Dark does a pretty damn good job with the engagement.
This Ghost gonna run right by the Spore. Does he actually notice there's an Overseer here as well? Another Spore.
Ooh.
Now, this can just go unnoticed.
That would be so juicy.
Okay, so he knows where it is.
How does he know?
There's no way to tell.
Get back in the geyser! Own.
That was nice.
Yeah, that drone
That was a
knew.
pro
He's like,
gamer
nah,
move by
it's
the
fine. No problem.
And so that Ghost is going to be picked off. Another push down here to the bottom right. Nice sniping with these Ghosts. Punishing these unattended lurkers.
Pushing forward here. Has some Liberators out as well. Coming up with Ling Lurker once again. Yeah, it's quite a bit. EMPs go off. Those are some big EMPs. We still have some mana here for Blinding Cloud, but don't see any going down at the moment. Enough Lurker Spines to push those Marines back at least. And he does have to pull back. I think those EMPs were just awesome, though. Like, if he had gotten the front two lost all their mana, and one of the ones in the back lost half. And that's like a lot of missing Blinding Clouds there.
Now, I do want to point out, the fourth base that we haven't really gone back to very much should be mining out now. And so the bottom right location that has never really been fully taken, the space that we have over here with the damaged hatch, that's the only location that Terran can't just push in and kill outright. Center left can be punished. Oh my gosh, great play here. Just comes in here and takes out the
What do you think about that
Idolist.
nuke with it?
That's
That's super interesting.
Well, it's smart because I think you can't really fight over this and get the Ghost, right?
Look at those drones have to run.
Could have been really bad.
All right, Lurker's running up here. Pretty aggressive move onto the Planetary.
Is this going to work, though? Seems like there's a lot to repair here. I guess with more Lurkers, that repair becomes less of a manageable thing. But
the flanking army, though, kind of screwing it up a little bit.
The Planetary with the flanking army is starting to really give it to Dark here. I think he's going to barely kill this. Am I wrong? No, that's it. Bunny 2-0 Stark.
Wow.
Damn.
All right.
What a start.
Well, Bunny told us, why did we make fun of it? Of course the defending champion is not as good as he used to
What
be.
did Group D stand for? Dead Dark? I can't believe you 2-0'd him, honestly.
Really? I mean, Bunny's been getting better and better. We've been talking about it, and you just continue to see it, because that was like a very straight-up game. You know, like game one, okay, triple barracks, proxy, bunker rush. Yeah, you got him, whatever. That can happen to anybody. But that game right there, Dark got up to maxed out Hive Tech with +3 range attack, plenty of Vipers. Didn't matter. Bunny took him down. Amazing.
Yeah, that was something else. And, you know, we've been talking about this the last couple of seasons. Bunny, you know, who's going to stop him if he keeps getting better and better? Guys, short break. We'll be right back.